Welcome to the raw, undiluted exactness. This is information you need to draw closer to. Turn your devices up and be attentive. Pay close attention. Press like the video. You also need to share it and steer it to those who need to see and hear it. Jamaica and the diaspora, I know this is the video you all been waiting on. So, please watch this video all throughout its entirety. At the end of this video, you will find out who took his life, where Jayden body went, and who dashed it away. All answers are inside this video, trust me. So share it with relatives and friends, yard and abroad. Share it like I said, and steer it to those who need to see and hear it. So, Jamaica, Jayden Smith, OC Short Boss, is no longer here with us. Jayden Smith is not alive. And I'm sorry, but someone had to break the news, and Just Facts Jamaica just did. I'm going to show you who did it and why. All this information is coming directly from a female relative that requested anonymity, meaning she know what I call her name. She does not want to be mentioned. Jayden Smith, OC Short Boss, was a 12-year-old student of the Manchester High School in Christiana. He once lived in the Wales district of Newport, Manchester. On the evening or the afternoon of September 25th, 2025, it is said that Jayden Smith and his first cousin once removed, and of course that is your first cousin's child. So I'm referring to the child of Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke. And that child's government name is Cooke. So to break it down, your first cousin's child is your first cousin once removed, because they are in the generation below you, while your first cousin is in the same generation as you. Got it? Good. So Zaire is Jayden's first cousin once removed. Let's refer to him by his government name, Zaire, going forward. So Jayden and Zaire were left to interact and enjoy each other's company inside the living room, but that was all a lie. That was not the case. Jayden was babysitting. Jayden was left to watch that child in a babysitting manner. Later down in the video, you will understand why I said Jayden was the babysitter. It is about to get really interesting. Trust me. During the duration or period of time when the child was left in Jayden's care, an unexpected event occurred. That is what you call an accident. And the outcome of that accident resulted in Zaire suffering a broken limb. The child broke his femur. The femur is the thigh bone. It is the longest, largest, and strongest bone in the human's body. It is located in the upper leg, between the hip and the knee. If that bone is fractured, trust me, the pain is one of the most severe. It is next to a toothache type of pain. Very severe. So after Zaire FEMA broke, killed them dead, Jayden broke the baby foot because he never wants to stay with the baby. That is how Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke look at it. That is how she and her husband viewed it. Them no see no other way. And let me tell you why. According to them, in the last few days leading up to this incident, they are claiming that Jayden's demeanor has changed. Like he does not want to do anything at all willingly any longer. Them same face change. Him a bend up him face like him no want to do nothing. And a Demar feed him cause him mama no business with him and look which part him papa live. Those were the words of Annmarie, Thompson and Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke. Mother and daughter. One pair of wicked. So them feel say him get frustrated and spitefully broke the baby foot. That is the impression Annmarie Thompson passes on to her daughter Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke. And that is the conclusion Sheneque and her husband came to. But Jayden was stressed. Later down in the video, you'll understand why he was also depressed, plus why he was a part-time babysitter. So after the child's FEMA broke, Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke, in trying to appease her husband to make him feel satisfied, because he was also disgusted, she decided to take matters in her own hands, so she pursues justice with revenge. She plotted the premeditated disappearance of Jayden Smith, OC's short boss, before she flew down to Jamaica on Thursday, September 25th. And this information is coming straight out of the family. This is coming from a relative, a female relative, a big woman. This female confided in me so much, she told me that she also have kids. So she felt guilty because it rests on her conscience, she can't take it no more. She went on to say the uncle-in-law, Omar Thompson, and his wife, Annmarie Thompson, which is Sheneque's mother, they all knew about it. They knew what Sheneque did, but they all came together to formulate lies to try and cover, to prevent Sheneque from facing penalties. I'm just getting started, don't move a muscle. They invested in Jayden's disappearance. Sheneque spent a piece of food, and she was also a passenger in the white car that collected Jayden along Perth Close Road, right up at the corner on the right hand side where unfinished building is. They collected Jayden right up at the corner, the top corner of Perth Close Road, where an unfinished building is with a driveway. That is where they collected Jayden. They ensured they embark on a piece of road where there was none or limited CCTV cameras. It was well planned and orchestrated by Sheneque. It was well planned, and I'll tell you how. Continue watching. Because she was the one who cracked the window and called out to Jayden. That is why Jayden felt safe to board that car. And Sheneque's husband, Leahcim Cook, is also associated with a member of the JCF that knows about it. Her husband have a police friend, police link. That is why this relative is afraid of DSP, Deputy Superintendent Dennis Simpson, officer in charge of criminal investigation for the Manchester Police Division and commanding officer for the Manchester Police, Superintendent Carrie Duncan. Carrie Duncan. She is in fear that if she come forward, Sheneque's husband friends whether it is the ones he left in the force or the criminal ones, they will get her killed. She's afraid of that. Because these same police will leak on who it was that released their secret and put her life in danger. She's a big woman, a lady. So Sheneque was advised by criminal-minded individuals. She was briefed on how best to play it out and how to play it off smoothly by constantly misleading the public with several prank sightings of Jayden as if he voluntarily and willingly left on his own and is somewhere out there in the public, and by doing so, they, the family, will know or can be rid of all blame if and when Jayden's body is found. Wicked and trying to be slick. Because the longer Jayden's body stays out there in the public, his death can be blamed on any random civilian of the public. That is what they are trying to achieve. Sheneque, Lawrence-Cooke, Annmarie Thompson, and her relatives. So that is why his relatives are pranking the public and authorities that Jayden was seen, when deep down they know that Jayden is dead. That is what they're trying to do. Place Jayden's death on a random civilian of the public. So, 5 days later, they came out trying to explain to us that an accident happened at the house and that might be what Jayden is taking personal, so he disappeared. Cause me I hear that. A baby, a small child, as in an infant, broke his femur bone, the thigh bone, the longest, largest, and the strongest bone in the human body, and all they did was massage Jayden with romantic words of comfort. You don't think Jamaicans are idiots? An infant cannot endure such agony without screaming out on the top of their voice. And in that moment, Annmarie Thompson, the aunt of Jayden, which is Sheneque's mother, rushed to inquire what it was that caused Zaire so much pain. And according to her, she saw him laying on the floor. She took him up. She took Zaire up. She took up the child. And when she took up Zaire, Zaire screamed out even louder. She took him to her room. And while she was inside her room trying to amp down the child from all that high-pitched screaming, she then called out to Jayden from inside her room, and said, "Jayden, you need to be more careful when playing with the baby because the baby is young," in her own words. Let me repeat. While she was inside her room trying to amp down the child from all that high-pitched screaming, she then called to Jayden from her room and said, "Jayden, you need to be more careful with playing with the baby because the baby is young," in her own words. She said they had no further conversation with Jayden on the incident. After you watch this, I'll be telling you exactly how Jayden disappeared. I'll be playing the videos shortly. The videos that define them. 5 days later, Jayden's so-called cousin, Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke, came out in a video release with a mendacious, premeditated, scripted, and well-rehearsed speech by way of a video she shared on her social media handles, Instagram and Facebook. Here's the video on your display. We are going to dissect this video by chapters. Look and listen to this wizard. Be attentive.
Hello, I wanted to make a video. I am Sheneque. I am the cousin of Jayden Smith, the little boy that is missing. I am also the mother of the little boy, the 2-year-old that fell and broke his thigh. I wanted to address a few posts that we saw after my mom did an interview. There's a lot of speculation about one possibility of him being ill-treated by my mom, which is not the case. And if anyone knows my family, knows that my mother is a nurturer, right? And she has taken Jayden in after finding out that her brother was the father of Jayden, and realized that he needed a little bit more attention, and she decided that she was going to take him in whether or not her brother assisted with him financially or not, which he has been doing, right? So that was never an issue. Jayden has been with our family since he was 6 years old, and I can show you pictures. This boy is an extremely smart, intelligent young man. He was top GSAT student at his primary school. For a child that, if a child is having issues in a home, they would not, most times not be able to focus in school and probably have a negative behavior in school. That's not the case. Jayden is a very smart boy. He's intelligent, he works hard, and my mother provides the things that he needs along with his father to make him comfortable. When I was called that my son fell and broke his leg after playing with Jayden, at no point in time it crossed my mind that it was something malicious, because Jayden is not that type of child. At no point in time I thought anything bad. Boys being boys, he's a 2-year-old boy that is very active, and every time I video call, he's always on the bed jumping and listening to some song, dancing. So at no point in time I thought anything ill of the situation. Immediately the thing is, okay, let's take him to the hospital and find out what is wrong. So yes, found out that he broke his femur. Okay, and we're just in the process of just getting treatment. Initially, Jayden was at the hospital on the Thursday night when it happened. Then everybody left my mom at the hospital with the baby, went home. Jayden went to school the following day and just did not come back home today. So mom was at the hospital with me on Friday when she left to go home, and then she called me saying that Jayden is not home. Initially, I'm like thinking, did he think that because what happened to the baby and the fact that the baby is in the hospital, is he thinking he did something wrong, and is he being hard on himself, that kind of thing? So that's definitely the first thing that ran through my mind, because overall we have no idea of anything else that would actually cause Jayden to not return home. Nothing else. That's the only thing outside of the norm that happened prior to him going missing. So again, just to clear the air, one, Jayden is well taken care of. Jayden is not ill-treated at home. Nobody blamed him for the fall of the baby. Nobody cussed him out or anything like that. It was nothing like that. So that's not the case. So at this point in time, because of how long it has gone since, and we have been following every lead that has been provided, the police have been helping, community has been helping, the school has been helping, and we are thanking everybody for all the help, and thank you for posting things, reposting, sharing, that kind of thing. We are very grateful, and just keep doing that so that we can get him home safely. We're still following leads. Nothing yet has kind of been concrete to actually point us to where he's at, so we're still working on that. So just continue to pray for us and help us to get Jayden home safely. At this point, we just don't know where he's at, and we're just hoping that he's safe and that he'll come back home. Jayden, if you're hearing this, I do not blame you for anything that happened to Zaire. Zaire is totally fine. He says you're supposed to come home. He's laughing, he's smiling. He's just going to take some time to recover, but he is fine. So come home to us. If you're able to see this video, come home to us. We miss you and we love you a lot.
No, were you listening with your undivided attention? She said when the child's femur broke, her mother, Annmarie Thompson, did nothing. She was not upset, she was not aggressive, she was calm and collective. Her mother, in her own words, said the only thing she turned to Jayden and say was, Jayden, you have to be more careful with playing with the baby because the baby is young. Come on, you think people like myself are stupid? That was the first lie they told. Because number one, Jamaicans don't communicate like that. We don't talk like that. We don't sound like that. Not even the well-mannered or the most mannerable set of bigwigs or aristocrats from uptown St. Andrew would not sound so composed. They would not sound so calm if they witnessed such a frightening situation. Not even uptown people wouldn't sound so decent and well-spoken if and when they experience a child in that much of a pain or comes face to face with such a devastating event. That was the first lie they told. That was their first attempt. Their first attempt of trying to cover someone's track, which will lead to the discovery of something incriminating. Any parent would at least get aggravated for a moment. They're going to be angry by default. It is somewhat innate as a parent. Even if the injury was caused by Zaire's sister, even if the act was caused by a sibling of the victim, automatically it would make you feel like thump them down in the moment. But no, this is the most perfect and loving family in the Caribbean that has no emotions, one that does not react to atrocious act, devastation or atrocities. But in the same breath, and sadly, that was it for Jayden. Unknowingly, they placed a timer on his life. The countdown was activated by the Cooke's family. So, during that 5 days of silence before Sheneque released that video, they took enough time to plan a narrative from early to prevent them from being investigated with effective interrogation. Can you imagine? You heard a baby screaming, pain and agony from a broken femur. You then ran inside the room and saw that child in anguish, so much pain. And all you did was softly and charmingly told Jayden that, Jayden, you have to be more careful with playing with the baby because the baby is young. No, cause you think a critical thinker, a master, a pro in human psychology like myself can be approached with such stupidity and absurdity. According to her, she then instructed everybody to get themselves together, get dressed, and let's go to the hospital. That was the first lie they told. Come on, Jamaica. Listen to JFJ. Listen to Just Facts Jamaica. Hear me out. If they were not hungry, then how did they become so loving? Let me explain. In order for you to know love, as in authentic, genuine, sincere love, you have to experience hate. And for you to be able to distribute love so passionately, according to how they explain that they love Jayden, it is because you know the worth and the effects of it. So there got to be some hate within you for you to be able to differentiate between both and know which to give and at what time. You have to experience both to decipher the difference. Talk to Idiot. Don't approach Just Facts Jamaica with that. So, during the broken femur incident, you're trying to tell me that not even 5% of anger or bitterness did not activate, or at least momentarily? Come on, man. Tell Idiot that. Tell TikTokers that, God, them no sense. If she had came and said, boy, me did upset when I went and saw the baby and the pain he was in. Me get angry, so I went off on Jayden and I slapped him, and I probably shouldn't have. But he did come and say that. The moment Sheneque came out, it was out of guilt, a guilty conscience surrounded by high adrenaline of fear and confusion. So she and whosoever her advisors are, come on, you guys are incompetent. You guys are incompetent. Jamaica, listen. What they're trying to do here is they're trying to twist the story from very early, and that is an attempt to shift focus away from the truth as to what might have happened to Jayden. So this prostitute is trying to sell us something, but sadly, we're not buying it. This vendor, Sheneque, this one you're looking at, she came forward with the intention to appease us by selling us false hope that Jayden is on the loose, and that would soothe our ego and furthermore prevent us from critical thinking. Come on, people of God. That prevention will extend and block us from reality and bar a logical thinker like myself with artificial intelligence narrative to perpetuate our hope, but most importantly, to rid themselves, as in them the family, of implication, blame, and accountability. Come on. So this video that she came out and did, it was to calm us down, or to amp down anger that should be directed towards them, the family, while they clandestinely premeditate and rehearse their next move or escape route. That was what they thought they did with that video, or would have accomplished. But they have failed with me. This is Just Facts Jamaica. Check out the name of my channel, man. Check the name of my channel. And what is most important, if you lie about that, why not? You're probably lying about something else. Aggravatedly, anger flared and something happened. Jayden did not run off. Speak the truth. Jayden is dead. Sheneque flew down from America just like Leota Bradshaw in the Philip Paul Wells case. She landed in Montego Bay shortly after midday. From Montego Bay to Mandeville is like 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours 15 to 30 minutes. Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke arrived in Mandeville, but for some reason she disappeared and did not reach the hospital until over 7 p.m. We open at the night. Imagine, you claim your child, you claim you're in a rush to see your child, a baby, an infant that is suffering from a broken femur, but at the same time, you didn't thought it was necessary to head straight to the hospital to attend to your Zaire. You somehow disappeared for a few hours, then you automatically popped up like bread from a toaster. You know what I think happens here? She is now on the ground, tangibly in person, so she and her accomplices began to put things into place because remember, I don't have enough time here in Jamaica and I have to send out the missing person report before I leave to exclude myself so it can somewhat look normal. So the earlier, the better. So let's kick things off with preparation. And Jayden was picked up along Perth Road and slaughtered. The moment Jayden enters the car, Sheneque gave Jayden something to eat or drink because that was the plan. Jayden was drugged, so the moment she picked up, she rolled out the window and called out to Jayden. The moment Jayden enters that car, she gave Jayden something to drink and Jayden was drugged. He knows nothing from there. Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke murdered Jayden, she and her accomplices. This was premeditated. This is what you call first-degree murder. In revenge for her son's broken femur. On Friday, September the 26th, Jayden boarded that white car in which Sheneque was a passenger. They took him as revenge. And I hope I am absolutely wrong about him being dead. And they did not hurt him. But why would they took him? And where the final destination is at. What I'm absolutely sure about, Sheneque did went and picked up Jayden along Perth Road, Perth Close Road, right up at the top corner in the right hand side where that unfinished building is, that drive-through. That was where they picked up Jayden. Jayden is dead. That was their premeditated plan. Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke knows exactly where Jayden's body is. Listen, Sheneque also mentioned that Jayden did not leave the house with a cell phone, but Jayden went to school and told the classmate that he will not be taking a regular PPV because his cousin will be coming to pick him up. So if Jayden did not leave the house with a cell phone on his person, if Jayden was not carrying a cell phone to receive an immediate call on the school compound, it is safe to say Jayden was told from home that he will be picked up by his cousin, so he should not board a regular PPV, a taxi. And with all those many contradictions and inconsistencies in their stories, the case is solved. Right there and then, the case was solved. They should have been detained and placed in separate rooms for interrogation, cause there is no way JCF is going to tell me that you all attend training, went to the National Police College of Jamaica, being promoted from time to time to the rank of corporal, sergeant, detective, etc., and does not consist of basic knowledge or competent enough to solve simple cases. Wanna make me feel shame of myself? I'm ashamed of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I'm ashamed. This is clearly a homicide case. Sheneque, her brother Demar, and the female in her late 20s knows everything about Jayden's disappearance. Let them confess about all the other persons who was aboard that car on that Friday evening. Whether Jayden was killed by built-up emotional impulse in the heat of the moment, when he was tangibly caught by Sheneque, or by premeditation. And premeditation can occur in an instant, in a snap of a decision moment. And in the court of law, prosecution can sometimes convince the jury in a homicide case like this one. Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke should be charged with first-degree murder. Let's backtrack to the video for dissecting. Look at her demeanor. This burdensome, worried, shock, uneasy, weirdness on her face says everything. Trying to compose herself to record the video without twitching or displaying too much nervousness or uncomfort. That is all she was doing. Her deeds provoked a negative outcome. Look at that. Sheneque didn't just jump up and do this video out of being an egalitarian or sincerely concerned. She was encouraged. Her nerve-wracking confidence was boosted by someone to record this video. She was uncomfortable. She could not contain herself with enough stability to keep a straight face and maintain a neutral look. Does anyone even realize that she was nervous and uneasy, uncomfortable? All this demeanor, all this holding of the head is a form of suppressing guilt. You're looking at unstable conscience overridden with capricious emotional thoughts of guilt and confusion. Reality hit her right this up. Reality hit her right this up. Lord Jesus Christ, what is me cause by myself? What is me do for Father God? All of that are run up and down in her head. She herself can't come to terms of what they really did to Jayden. And now she's out here making up a story to cover what they already regrettably did. She regret it. She regret what they did. Right now as I speak, she's going through a mental breakdown behind the scene in private, out of sight. So Jayden was killed during the same time when Sheneque was away from the hospital. So pay close attention to this clip when she said, and mom was at the hospital. Look how her demeanor changed, her face changed and get sulky and serious when she remembers say during the same time there, she got strangle Jayden and murder Jayden. Look on her face expression and her demeanor when she said, and mom was at the hospital with me. When she remembers say a lie she had tell at the time that she killed Jayden. Look at this.
Jayden went to school the following day and just did not come back home today. So mom was at the hospital with me on Friday.
That was when you murdered Jayden, Sheneque, and you knew it.
So mom was at the hospital with me on Friday when she left to go home, and then she called me saying that Jayden is not home.
Jayden was not home because you murdered Jayden and went back to the hospital. You go kill Jayden and come back. She regret what they did. Look at this clip. Nothing but guilt and anxiety. I'm gonna fly over enough on her head. Look again. You know see the demons them and the anxiety turn up in a girl. You notice our eyes them wide and wild? That's demonic. Pure deep breath she take throughout the video. Look at all this. Look at all these body languages. Pure deep breath she take. She wild, she confused, she uncomfortable, she uneasy. Her heart beat fast. All that deep breath. Look at her demeanor. Her heart is racing. Pure deep breath she's taking. She's uncomfortable, she's uneasy, she erased the video. Anxiety, she wild. Look at that. Perfect mugshot. Typical crash out type of female. Can't take pressure. From a CR you know she should have failed the lie detector test. Can't take pressure. 5 minutes in the interrogation room and she bust. This is a female that is prone to crash out. Look at all that tenseness. Listen to her voice carefully. You can hear the nervousness coming through, flowing through her vocals. Her vocal waves, you can hear it. Listen to her vocal waves. You can hear the nerve in her voice rattling, bubbling over. Come on. This is a guilty conscience you're looking at. Her eyes are wild. She know what she did. Her conscience upon her. Look at that. Wild. Uncomfortable, uneasy. She was even crying moments before she recorded this video. She was crying. And if you notice, she lost a whole lot of weight since she murdered Jayden. This girl is basically stressed right now. She lost a whole lot of weight, guys. She never fought already, but her body started draw. Her body started draw down. I know what is going on behind the scene. She lost a whole lot of weight. She's stressed. And just before she recorded this video, she was actually crying. And she was not crying because she missed Jayden. She's crying because of guilt, regret, etc. She traumatized. Because obviously, although them are wicked people, for the first, Sheneque actually killed someone. Bare hands. Tangibly herself. Let's move on. I also have a next video I would like you people to pay close attention to. This man on your display, Mr. Thompson, calls himself Jayden's uncle-in-law. Be attentive.
Please, as it relates to your relationship with Jayden. My name is Thompson. I'm the uncle-in-law. When we look into it, then say Jayden is so willing little boy. We have been both here. We have a whole couple there about 8 or 9. We have rabbits. And sometimes when I ask my son to do certain things, he understand not going to do it, but he rather pay Jayden to do it.
You notice what he said without even knowing what he just did? Listen again.
When we look into it, then say Jayden is so willing little boy. We have been both here. We have a whole couple there about 8 or 9. We have rabbits. And sometimes when I ask my son to do certain things, he understand not going to do it, but he rather pay Jayden to do it.
His words gave him away. His words described the role Jayden was playing around these people. Jayden was not being paid to do anything. Him just don't want it sound too bad, so him just sprit it up. Handyman, yard boy, feed rabbit, tie goat, wash plate. The purpose where him serve was a little send out boy. Them walk him go, them walk him come. Jayden had was to work to secure a spot under their roof. Don't be brainwashed by this cult family. I'll give you an example. In almost every community in Jamaica, you can find a man where you give a little money and send him go a shop. Or in most cases, pay him to climb a tree, pick some ackee, or weed up a yard, or then pay him to go dash some rubbish out the road. Or if you live off the main, you give him a 2 bills to carry a market bag, go your doorstep. Handyman them call them, or send out boy, yard boy. It's no different in this case. Jayden was carrying a heavy load. Now make them try food, you know. Them never to rate him. And he didn't realize what going on. But he didn't have a voice to speak out, so he suppressed. Jayden was not respected much in his surrounding around these people, and he knew it. Jayden was a smart child. Adjectives hate his family because only the worst can be used to describe them. None of these individuals can be described as egalitarians. They are inhumane. As young as Jayden was, in this photo, you can see suppression, depression fully compressed in this one photo. It takes the pinnacle of discernment to look through one's soul to see what they are battling. He started bottling up gallons of trauma. Look now, man. Look now, man. That is why Jayden was depressed. And earlier, when I told you that them claims say him did a bend up in face like him no want to work again, that is why. Because them know say them did a overwork him. So they were paying close attention to his demeanor to see when him face change upon them. So because of that, them claim say him face did a bend up. So him spitefully broke the baby foot because he never want to be kind to the child. Jamaica, that is what I was told, and I was given evidence that she related to them because I was sent an ID and a couple or a few photos of this female relative with Thompson, and also a photo that she took Lawrence-Cooke. They are related, and this is what I was told, and I basically confirmed it from a second source that was the issue they were having with Jayden. That is how Sheneque and their mother interpret it. And that's the same energy she came here with and snatched Jayden. Jayden was not a happy child around these people. So they basically went above and beyond to premeditate all these narratives to remove the thoughts from everybody's head that Jayden might be harmed out there in the public, because they knew that all fingers will be pointed at them, the family. Sheneque, Lawrence-Cooke, and her relatives are using deflecting tactics, so they came up with all types of distraction to veer our focus from the truth in trying to eliminate or control our inner consciousness and sense of discernment of every well-thinking individual that is paying close attention. In this case, them people are wicked. Sheneque, Lawrence-Cooke, is also using her sister's relatives to spread other narratives that Jayden might have gotten himself involved in wrongdoings, and that might have led him to being missing. These people implicate themselves so many times, and the JCF is busy talking about increased salaries. Increased salaries for what? Who not work? Huh? That's why me and some of in the force can great. All on the good for do is look every woman who walk through the station door. Your conversation come report them problem. Imagine the woman come report problem and you try to look the woman as the next problem. That is all JCF man them good for do. Every woman walk through the station door, them big crutches and look front. And now do what them for do and now do them work. Jayden case solved a long time. But you know what? The entire family is shocked because to them, Jayden was a nobody. Jayden is just a handyman. So they didn't expect the public to react this way. They got the shock of their life. But I have one thing to tell the Cookes and the Thompsons family. They will have to leave that community and Jamaica at large if Jayden is not found. I won't speak much on that, but mark my words. Their photos are already out and the stories well published, fully broadcast. Jayden's father is okay, you know. He's just shocked and I spoke to Jayden's father. He lives in the same community as these people, while Jayden's mother is living in a neighboring community, not even 10 minutes away. A few people described her as a very good hairdresser. They said she does hair very well, but Sheneque, Lawrence-Cooke, and her family need to be executed. Omar Thompson, which is Jayden's so-called uncle-in-law, is covering up for Sheneque. Execution. Sheneque's mother, Annmarie Thompson, is covering up for her daughter. Execution. Sheneque's female relative, the one that is on social media covering up for her. Execution. Sheneque's brother, Demar. They all know what is going on because they participated and played their active and equal role. He deserves execution. It is all a cover-up. JCF, my shame. Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke is responsible for Jayden's disappearance. Jayden was strangled by Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke. She drugged him and she strangled Jayden to death. Her mother knew about it and Omar knew about it. It is all a cover-up. Jayden was picked up in that white car along Perth Road by Sheneque and her accomplices, and they drugged Jayden. Sheneque, as the nurse, drugged Jayden and took him to an unknown location, and that is where Jayden met his final destination. Sheneque Lawrence-Cooke must confess, come clean, be candid, speak the truth, or else. And everything good for heat, good for dark.
I was just saying that him moving up and down in Manly when he's supposed to come home from school.
Heading to Perth Road where is nowhere near going home or going to taxi stand, just don't add up. So we're going to come off now, and again we're just gonna leave with the last part that the last known sighting of Jayden, confirmed sighting of Jayden, is when he walked to Perth Road area. That is it.
It's wrong with
To me, it's just somebody probably offering my ride when he head to Perth Road, and just I don't know what happened from there. I just feel like if something happened on Perth Road when he went there walking in the rain. I kind of think of somebody seeing a child walking in the rain and say, oh, this is the opportune time to let me give him a ride, you know, and has a lot going on now. So that is what I think.